bored, and hungry. He stated some of his siblings would check on him and play with him. He also spoke of a time when his mother choked him off the ground for losing his church book and slapping him. He spoke of being hungry and his mother not feeding him. So if none of this is true, why did you enter a plea? Why not go to a jury trial? Just calling 2022 CR 2717, State of Texas versus Anna Ramirez. Can I have the parties approach and announce for the record, please?
Michael Miller, Catholic State.
And are you Miss Ramirez? All right. So were there pretrial motions heard on this case? All right, then why is the box checked that I'm giving her permission to appeal?
That I don't know.
All right, so if you all want to fill out a new trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal.
Okay.
All right. The document is over on the box on the side. On July 7th, you applied for deferred adjudication. According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 4 years in the prison, and the state is remaining silent on your application for deferred adjudication. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes.
Any objections to the PSI report, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
Just a few factual corrections.
Yes.
My client has had a psychological through CPS. It stated in there that she hadn't. Did she have completed some college? Her income was a little bit more than stated at 3,800, and then her primary language is Spanish, secondary is English. We just
Okay.
wanted to make those on the record. Other than that, I think no other objection.
All right, Ms. Ramirez, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up. I've just been informed by your counsel that English is not your first language. It's Spanish, is that correct?
Yes, but I.
All right, so you don't need an interpreter? All right, thank you. All right, the state is silent, so defense.
Your Honor, at this time, we would ask that you grant Ms. Ramirez the deferred adjudication. After reading over the PSI, we just wanted to highlight a couple of pieces of information. My client has been going through her CPS days for about 18 months now. She has completed several courses, the event that is listed in there to include the topics of the family violence, the violence education, parenting, anger management. She has also been ongoing through continued counseling. She was going through Mr. Carlos Castillo until just this last July. We were supposed to start trial at that time. He didn't schedule her any other sessions with him, so she went on her own to seek additional counseling through somebody that was provided through her insurance.
Everyone, please make sure you whisper. Yes.
And so she is still continuing, and she is very proactive and continuing counseling really to try to understand how her behavior that made the children even specifically feel victimized, how she can change it going forward. In the PSI, I believe it does say that the child was hospitalized. We also just wanted to clarify that they had went to take photos. There was no hospitalization of the children. And in addition to that, Your Honor, we just wanted to also highlight that although the PSI it seems to highlight specifics of one side of the story, there was also no mention in there about Miss Nancy Kellogg stating that the injuries did seem from Evelyn as consistent with the bike and the iron and not of abuse, as well as Evelyn did not make any outcry and when specifically probed about what Ethan had stated, had given a completely different version of the events. In any event, Your Honor, my client is working. She would like to continue to go to counseling. We do have trial in her CPS case on Thursday and Friday.
Mhm.
And so she is asking for her children to be returned. I understand that CPS is asking for her to be terminated, but she would like the opportunity to work probation, get continued services, and then continue with her job at Wells Fargo.
Okay, so this is what the court is trying to understand. According to the stipulations, and this is what you stipulated to, it says that the victim, which is one of the children, made an outcry at school of abuse while at home. R1 said that victim 2 was found to have a large welt on his upper on his left upper thigh as a result of being struck by his mother. R1 said that his sister goes to the same school as victim 2, and she was also interviewed by school staff. It was discovered that victim 1 had bruising on both inner thighs and also had a burn mark to her right inner thigh that she said was from a steam iron. R1 said that when asked how she was injured, victim 1 said that she fell off her bike. R1 said that victim's injuries were not consistent with falling off a bike. R1 said that victim was asked how she got the burn mark. R1 stated that victim 1 stated that her mother told her to unplug and put away a still hot steam iron, and she accidentally dropped it on her leg, causing the stated burn. So, are you saying that you didn't cause any of these injuries to the children?
On her thigh, I actually didn't see her fall off her bike.
I want to talk about the welt mark from the other child.
Ethan?
Yes.
So on Ethan, when I asked him in front of the caseworker, what were they referring to? All he did was just lift the pants that he had on, and all you saw was notice was the bruise on his lower leg.
So are you saying you didn't do it?
I didn't strike him with the belt.
All right, because, and then on the PSI report on page 4, it says, Ms. Torres stated Ethan spoke of being in a closet for hours at a time. He feared of what would happen if he came out. He stated he was scared, bored, and hungry. He stated some of his siblings would check on him and play with him. He also spoke of a time when his mother choked him off the ground for losing his church book and slapping him. He spoke of being hungry and his mother not feeding him. So if none of this is true, why did you enter a plea? Why not go to a jury trial?
Because of communication that we've had with the prison attorney. We created advice on responsibility.
No. Do you want a jury trial? We'll give you one today. We have a jury outside. That'll be here at 1:30. You want a jury trial? That's either yes or no.
No.
All right. Is there anything else from either side? All right. And defense, do you feel that your client's entering into this plea bargain agreement was voluntary?
Yes.
All right. And Ms. Ramirez, was anything offered to you other than the plea bargain agreement?
That my friend.
All right. All right. If there is nothing else for either side, the court is going to deny the application, find you guilty. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. The court will sentence you to $1,500 fine, time and money to run concurrent. And the court will sentence you to 4 years in the prison. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction and an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you.
Judge,
All right, so we're going to go on the record, Brenna.
Okay.
Cause number 2022 CR 10474B, State of Texas versus Matthew Dotson. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Michael Villarreal from the state.
for the defense? All right. So my understanding is that it's agreed that the defendant is to remain on deferred adjudication.
That's correct.
All right. And what are you asking with regards to conditions?
Judge, the original agreement as it relates to the MTR was 90 days of Bexar County Jail sanction, TAP evaluation while in custody and to follow recommendations, and then weekly reporting for 90 days upon release from the Bexar County Jail.
All right. I'm going to do something a little different. So obviously, they want the 90 days in the Bexar County Jail to correct some behavior, I'm assuming. Is that correct?
I believe so, Judge.
All right, because what I want to do, because obviously there's some behavior that needs to be corrected. Maybe it needs to be corrected at ISF. Will ISF take him based upon his charge?
Yeah.
All right. So instead of just 90 days at the Bexar County Jail or 90 days at the prison, although I'm sure there was a shock to your system when you went to the prison. So hopefully you learned something. How old are you? 31. Do you have children? Parents? Mom? Dad? Does your mom love you? Mom in your life? Does your dad love you? Dad in your life? Why are you being a disappointment to them? Why are you breaking their heart? I mean, no, here's the thing about wrong roads. Even when you're in the vehicle, I mean, some guys, right? I don't know what it is about men won't ask for directions, but at some point when you see that you're going down the wrong road, David, you're different. You'll ask for directions. At some point, when you're on 100 miles and you're still going in the wrong directions, at some point you say, we can do a U-turn right here. So at some point you're gonna have to do a U-turn to better your life. Otherwise, you're gonna end up in prison, and you're gonna end up in prison for a long time because what you're charged with. This is a first-degree felony. The range of punishment is up to life in prison. I mean, you can find your direction at the prison. I didn't know before, but people told me that some people are allowed to drive around the prison. That's from Mr. Cox. I don't know if that's true or not. I never saw it in Shawshank Redemption, but that's what Mr. Cox says. So we're going to do ISF with you, and it's going to be cognitive. So while you're at ISF cognitive, you need to pay attention to everything that they're trying to teach you. And when you're there, you need to internalize that you could be at the prison, which is where you came from, being told what to do every single day. I don't know why people don't realize that you can live in the free world, make your rules within the law. If you want to get up at a certain time in the morning, you can get up at a certain time in the morning. At the prison, you can't. They have hours. And of course, there are consequences for actions. Maybe you don't get your breakfast because you waited too late. Maybe you don't get your lunch. Maybe you don't get your dinner. So if you want to live that life, you let me know now and I can send you to prison and we can waste all this. We can stop wasting all this in between time. So do you want to follow the rules or do you want to go to prison? If you want to go to prison, I can send you now. The state and the defense can negotiate on a time for you to go to prison. And guess what? I'll follow whatever negotiation they want to for sending you to prison. But then you can stop wasting everybody's time. Now, your parents' heart would be broken because they'll have to see you at the prison or write to you. So the choice is up to you. All right, let me see how much time. Is there any need to extend him, State?
I don't believe so, Judge.
I think he just granted probation
Let me look.
this year.
September 8th, 2021.
All right.
Until 2031.
All right. Yes, because I see here you received 10 years deferred adjudication, and it's my writing. And for me to give you 10 years deferred adjudication is because I saw something in you that concerned me. And you coming back here concerns me. You understand? Do not come back here again because you're not following the rules. You understand? All right, so we're going to do TAP evaluation while in custody. You're going to do ISF cognitive. We're going to do the UA hotline until further notice when you're released. I'm going to want field visits 3 times per month, probation, and then and that'll be for 3 months. If he's doing well, then you all can send me a supplemental, let me know, and I'll decide whether or not to take him off that. When you're out from ISF, who are you going to be living with? All right. And does your partner want you there? Are you sure? Sure, you haven't been cut loose?
No, ma'am.
A dear Matthew letter?
No, ma'am, I haven't.
Okay. Well, you will be if you don't behave and act like an adult who has common sense. What are you planning on doing with the rest of your life?
And I'm going to school for HVAC, is what I was trying to do.
Okay.
To get into private education or do community service, what I was doing. I contacted the court, but the other guys got me on doctor, the probation got me on doctor, so therefore I kept calling and responding, and I stayed working.
Okay. And what's up with the ring on your finger? Usually they don't bring people always. Can that not be removed?
Well, yeah, it won't come on.
Not waiting.
Oh, you know what? I know your wife. I'm gonna tell her you said that. Well, you can always cut that off.
Sure.
Do you not want it removed?
No, no, I do not. My brother just passed away in November, so this is his ring and I kept it.
Oh, okay. All right, that I can understand. All right, State, is there anything else you're requesting?
No, Judge.
All right, probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from me so that I won't see you again unless you're being released from probation?
Well, no, ma'am, but at the same time, when you guys released me, that in September, I had a warrant already right when I came out, which I didn't think I was supposed to be released, but for live vote for the ticket that I came in for.
Okay.
Y'all can just make sure that.
Well, that's your attorney needs to make sure that ticket is not an issue. All right, so what's going to end up happening is you're going to go back to the Bexar County Jail. You're going to go to ISF. You're going to do your TAP evaluation and probation. If the TAP evaluation recommends inpatient treatment, we're going to start with intensive outpatient treatment if that's what they're recommending. All right. So if they're recommending inpatient treatment, we'll start with intensive outpatient treatment to see how that goes. All right. Is there anything else from either side?
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
What began as a request for deferred adjudication ended very differently. Ana Ramirez had asked the court for another chance. Her defense pointed to counseling, completed courses, and her efforts to change. But Judge Stephanie Boyd focused on the allegations contained in the case, including the injuries reported on the children and the statements described in the PSI report. Then came the question that changed everything. If Ramirez maintained that she had not caused the injuries, Judge Boyd wanted to know why she had entered a plea instead of taking the case to a jury. Ramirez was given the opportunity to choose a trial. She did not. Moments later, Judge Boyd denied the application for deferred adjudication, found Ramirez guilty, and made an affirmative finding of family violence. The sentence was 4 years in prison, along with a $1,500 fine. But the consequences did not end with the prison sentence. Because of the felony conviction and family violence finding, Ramirez was told she would not be permitted to own or possess firearms or ammunition. And because the court followed the plea bargain, she was also told she did not have permission to appeal. In just a few minutes, the case went from a request for probation to a 4-year prison sentence, leaving the courtroom with consequences that would extend far beyond that day.